Learning Styles of the Net Generation by Karen Borgstrom. In this narrative, I will define the net generation, compare them with other generations of learners, examine characteristics of the net generation, and focus on ways that the net generation best learns. Over the generations, teachers have been faced with the challenge of meeting the needs of their students. Each generation of students have been shaped by their experiences. The baby boomer generation includes the nearly 80 million Americans who were born between 1946 and 1964. Boomers have been described as driven, individualistic, loyal, idealistic, and skeptical. The boomers were followed by Generation X, the first generation to grow up on video games, although considerably different from the video games of the net generation of today. Generation Xers, born between 1965 and 1979, are considered digital immigrants, not quite as comfortable as the digital natives of the net generation. This presentation will focus on the net generation, today's current generation of learners. And what will the next generation be labeled? So who is this net generation? These are the young people of today who are the students in our classrooms. The net generation, Generation Y, gamers, and digital natives are all labels applied to this generation of learners, born since 1980. They have grown up not only with video games, but computers, cell phones, and the internet too. They are highly interactive and are comfortable with technology. This has shaped the net generation's culture, values, and world outlook. It has also shaped the way this generation learns. To best teach the net generation, educators must recognize the needs of these digital natives. They have a need for interaction, exploration, relevancy, multimedia experiences, and instructions. Today's generation of learners view online communication as personal, socially acceptable, and efficient. They certainly also crave face-to-face communication with their peers. Today's educators can best reach this generation by incorporating in-class interactions as well as online interactions. This can be accomplished through wikis, chat rooms, discussion boards, and online projects. Students also crave contact with their teachers, and so their participation is vital for the most effective learning experience. Because there is so much information available to today's students, they desire the opportunity to explore the subject and arrive at their own conclusions. The thought of a teacher dictating information to the class is mind-numbing for our digital natives. Rather, they would like to be given material to research and a chance to deepen their own understanding of the subject. Educators can address this need through research projects, literature reviews, online searches, group presentations, field trips, and classroom wikis. With an overabundance of qualified applicants in today's workplace, the net generation has recognized that an education alone isn't going to give them the competitive edge. They are looking for experiences that provide practical skills for the workplace. Today's teachers are faced with the challenge of establishing relevancy in the classroom. Lessons learned in the classroom can be applied to community groups or real-life situations. This also addresses the net generation's need for interaction. They have a strong desire to acquire skills they would need for their real-world experiences. Educators can meet these needs through simulations, fieldwork, service learning projects, and even through the use of realistic video games. The digital natives have grown up on multimedia experiences, so it is understandable that they would desire these same experiences in their learning. Their study environment includes text, audio, and digital media. Educators are faced with the challenge of incorporating these into their learning environment as well. With the abundance of information online, the challenge is not so daunting. A relevant song, video clip, and discussion time used as a supplement to a lecture are all that are required to engage today's learner into the lesson. Despite all the technology at their fingertips, it is good to know that the net generation still needs good instruction. Although there exists an abundance of information to our students, and at times an overabundance, they still need their teacher to sort out the good from the bad and direct the students to appropriate information and how to use that information. Today's students are not taught by computers, they are taught by teachers. However, it is still a challenge for the teacher to adapt to the changing needs of our students. To quote a source on 21st Century Learning, "Today's education system faces irrelevance unless we bridge the gap between how students live and how they learn. By becoming aware of the next generation's needs, educators can improve upon bridging that gap and engage our students in learning."